What's going on, man? It's your boy Butler. It's the best day of my life, man. Tomorrow's not promised. Go on, do your little dance while they still playing your song to the day. Today, we are going to go inside the Georgia State Prison. We're going to touch on every possible topic that we can. Most importantly, we're going to talk about the shock and horror. Department of Justice finds Georgia prison conditions out of control and unconstitutional. What are they doing? What have they done? What have they promised? What have they delivered on? Let's do it.
Department released details from its investigation into Georgia prisons. That investigation follows a spike in deaths and other violence. The Justice Department claims the state violated the prisoners' constitutional rights by failing to protect them from harm. U.S. Attorney for the Middle District of Georgia, Peter Leary, calls the system, quote, out of control. He said the problems include inadequate staffing and supervision, poor security, gang activity, and the constant flow of contraband.
This prison system can do better, and most importantly, under the Constitution, it must do better. And we look forward to continuing this important work.
Nearly 50,000
So let's do this. Oh, hold on. 50,000. Go ahead.
people are incarcerated in Georgia prisons, the nation's fourth largest inmate population. The State Department of Corrections released a statement saying they were disappointed by the federal findings. They also said state prison systems nationwide face many of the same problems.
Yeah, but just because it's going on somewhere else doesn't justify it. So that was 9 months ago. So 9 months ago, the same amount of people that were being unalived in the Georgia Department of Corrections is, let me see, do I have the latest number? I'm going to see if I got the latest number of unalivings now. But nothing has been shut down. Nobody's been fired. Nobody's been reassigned. There's not any of that taking place. It's just the same old, same old. So it was just basically talk at the end of the day. Nobody's gotten anything done. It's just more humans unaliving humans.
All right, thank you, man. This afternoon.
Let's see what else we have in the state of Georgia. The state of Georgia.
And more than 1,000 pieces of contraband seized after a series of unannounced shakedowns at Georgia prisons, including 2 here in Central Georgia. The contraband sweeps at Central State Prison in Macon and Dooley State Prison in Unadilla were among 5 prisons targeted by the state. The correction officers seized alcohol, tobacco, meth, over 3 pounds of marijuana, hundreds of cell phones, and nearly 650 weapons. This as Georgia prisons are under investigation by the U.S. Department of Justice. Ashlyn Webb joins us in studio with more. Ashlyn.
Yes, Lori, the Justice Department is investigating the violence, including the several murders inside Georgia's prison system. Today's announcement by the Department of Corrections on the sheer number of weapons seized highlighted concerns of violence and unsafe conditions inside the prisons. The department says in the latest shakedown in 5 prisons, they confiscated nearly 650 weapons.
If they only got 650 out of 5 prisons, they didn't get nothing.
Timothy Cole was just released from Johnson State Prison last month. Cole served 10 months of his sentence in the Wrightsville facility for aggravated assault with the intent to rape.
It's a day-to-day, minute-to-minute, life or death battle. You never know what's going to happen around you.
Cole says he would see many prisoners carrying weapons, oftentimes made of materials found in the facility.
It's taking metal off the walls, taking little pieces off the fence, sharpening with the floors.
Those things could be expected to happen. Unfortunately, there is no update as to what the Department of Justice has done. It's almost a year.
A system in crisis and out of control. That's how the Department of Justice described Georgia's state prison system.
After an 8-year investigation, tonight the DOJ says the conditions inside Georgia's prisons are unconstitutional. The feds are now demanding the state take immediate action. Atlanta News First reporter Patrick Quinn spoke with justice leaders who found in recent years Georgia prisoners are being killed inside prisons at 3 times the national average.
That's crazy.
Tonight, the U.S. Justice Department dropping the hammer on Georgia prisons, saying the state is allowing for unsafe and unconstitutional conditions.
People are assaulted, stabbed, raped, and killed.
The system out of control.
From Macon and Columbus to Savannah and Augusta, up from Atlanta to Rome and Gainesville.
The Justice Department just released this 93-page report that found the Georgia Department of Corrections is in violation of the 8th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution.
All this is capped. When I say it's capped, we can go through and listen to that 30-minute report, but nothing has taken place. Unconstitutional, unlawful, and dangerous, horrific finding. Okay, so that was 7 months ago. This was after their initial report was released.
Department of Justice has just released a scathing report on the Fulton County Jail in Atlanta.
It says detention in the facility has been, quote, a death sentence for dozens of people, and conditions there are described as atrocious. Sherelle Hubbard has more details on the findings.
The Justice Department says its civil rights investigation found conditions in the Fulton County Jail in Atlanta to be inhumane and hazardous to inmates. The 16-month investigation was sparked in part by the September 2022 death of then inmate LaShawn Thompson. The report says he was held in the jail's mental health unit and died malnourished, in filth, and infested with lice. The DOJ says that he was, quote, neglected to death. Long-standing, unconstitutional, unlawful, and dangerous conditions. The report says living conditions and medical and mental health care at the jail don't meet constitutional standards. And the people who are held there, oftentimes not convicted but awaiting hearings and trial dates, are subjected to what officials call a, quote, crisis of violence. In 2023 alone, we identified 314 stabbings and more than 1,000 assaults. They say it's not just inmate-on-inmate violence, but the report says the staff uses force too quickly and too often.
Staff were regularly deploying tasers.
All right, it's the same stuff. It's the same stuff. So I'm going to go to my text message, and I'm going to pull this up. All right, this is that's all my personal. I don't need y'all on my business like that. Bro, I just moved that. Don't do that. All right. So 24 deaths. This is in the month of March. That's 24 deaths in March, bro. You have LaMancha Weir, 48. March the 2nd, March the 3rd. Saquon. First of all, rest in peace to all of these people. Damn, it's a lot of people. Eric Lee, Ralph Carter, Sabrina's, Michael Scott, Michael Alvin, Jerry Wayne, Ryan Cornelius, Raymond Trey, Chet Elliott, Thomas Dwayne, Charles Thomas, Lynn Alexander, Antonio Leon, DeAndreas Brown, Mario Murillo, Christopher Blake, Ezra D'Angelo, Douglas Jerome, Willie James, Hardin Millard, and Tyrone Edmonds. Rest in peace to all those people, man, but people still dying, bro. People still dying. So, that ain't it. Hey. That ain't it. Let's go back and try to see what they're doing. I don't see nobody doing nothing right now. I'm going to put 2025 and see what's bow. And then I'm just going to, that's 9 months ago. That's 2 years ago. That's 9 days ago. So let's just not just search. Let's go. Georgia prisons. DOJ. 2025. I just want to see if something is being done. That's all. And maybe it's not on YouTube. The Georgia Department of Corrections continues to face scrutiny and address the findings of a 2000 U.S. Department investigation. But what has been done though? Key issues highlighted. What has been done though? Widespread violence and sexual abuse, understaffing, systematic deficiencies, widespread violence and sexual abuse. The Department of Justice found a pattern or practice of failing to protect incarcerated. Response by the state of Georgia. Governor Brian Kemp, in conjunction with the GDC, announced plans to invest a significant amount of money in the prison system, according to the. Let's go. Georgia Kemp unveils recommendations from system-wide correction system assessment. This was January of this year. It's July the 1st. Brian Kemp, in conjunction with the Department of Corrections, today announced historic budget infusion recommendations for the state's prison system following an in-depth and independent system-wide assessment of the Georgia correction system by the consulting firm Guidehouse Incorporated, totaling more than $372 million overall and across the fiscal. Who the fuck are these people? We are Guidehouse. Guidehouse. We serve complex industries across both the commercial and public sectors. Discover how we integrate technology and multi-industrial expertise to build a resilient future, safeguard national interests, advance. Bro, who the fuck is Guidehouse? Stop playing with me. GUIDHOUSNDOJ, Georgia. Based on the provided information, Guidehouse is a global consultancy firm that offers advisory, digital, and managed services to both government agencies and commercial markets. They have an office located in Shamley, Georgia. While there's a strong connection between the Department of Justice and the state of Georgia regarding investigations into the Georgia correction system, there is no direct indication that Guidehouse holds any contract specifically with the Department of Justice for work in Georgia based on the provided search results. However, Guidehouse has been contracted by the Georgia Department of Corrections to conduct a system-wide assessment. I'm calling these fuckers. I'm calling them. I'm sorry. I'm calling them. Let's see. Office on Peachtree Road. It's in Atlanta. Oh, give me a phone number. Please go back. Give me a phone number. Website direction reviews. Is there a phone number for you? Website. Okay. I just would have thought that. I don't see no phone numbers. Closes at 5:30. It's 1:30. So they open right now. I don't have no phone number. Careers, about, careers, insights, services. Man, bro, this is generic ass website, bro. What do y'all do? Give me a phone number. Contact. All right, let's call them and see what they do, y'all. Let's call Guidehouse. Since millions of Georgia dollars have gone to Guidehouse, 800-304-9649. Hey, man. Careers. Let's see. Leadership. Go to leadership. Bitch, I say go to leadership. Veteran military. What do they do? You can't get in contact with them. You can't call them. Man, y'all gotta be shitting me. You gotta be shitting me, bro. Guidehouse. Okay. Who bought out Guy? Where is Guidehouse headquarters located? Is Guidehouse a legit company? Okay. Overall, guys, is an excellent firm for those interested in pursuing a career in technology, risk manager, or general management consultant. How you get in contact with them? Management consultant. Where's the headquarters? McLean, Virginia? Who bought out Guidehouse? A leading global provider and managed services to public sector and commercial clients today announced the close of its acquisition by Bain Capital Private Equity. Who the fuck are these people? Boy, y'all. Private portfolio. Private investment firms with approximately assets under management. Man, you mother. Hey, man. Ain't nothing being done, bro. Ain't nothing being done, bro. Ain't nothing being done, bro. Nothing. Ain't nothing being done, bro. Ain't nothing being done. You motherfuckers. DOJ. Let me see. All right. How can you contact? So we're gonna try it like this. We're gonna see. Georgia. DOJ. About the Northern District, Georgia Department of Justice. Contact us. Contact us. 404 581 6000.
United States Attorney's Office.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hurt. So I'm inquiring because I'm just online looking at numbers and websites. So I saw I'm inquiring about the Department of Justice and what alterations they've caused the Georgia Department of Corrections to make in reference to the conditions of the prison system. Am I even remotely close to contacting somebody who can give me some information in reference to that?
Reference to, you said the prison system?
Yep, because I see on the news where the Department of Justice sanctioned the Georgia Department of Corrections to make adjustments. And so that was 9 months ago. So I just started going through all the people you can contact, and this is one of the numbers that came up.
Let's see. Trying to make sure I get transferred to the right person.
Okay.
And that's something that you saw in the press release?
Correct.
1 second.
No problem.
Hey, thanks for holding.
Uh-huh.
I got to call the lady who's over like the media and press or public affairs. I guess she's on vacation right now.
What's her name? What's her name?
I can't give you her name, but what I could do is still transfer you over and you leave a message, and she'll get back to you.
Okay, but you can't tell me her name, but you're gonna transfer me over to her?
I mean, I can't. I mean, that's it. That's just something they asked us not to do is give out names. So I can't even tell you my name, and I'm only the receptionist. So.
All righty. All right. And so who is this that you're transferring me? I mean, not giving me her name, but what is she in charge of?
She's over the well, she's the assistant to the person that's over media, public affairs, press releases, so on.
No, that's not gonna be what I'm looking for. I was hoping to talk to somebody who would give me some direct answers. That just seemed like I think I've probably gotten more assistance from you than I'll get from her, because she is the assistant to somebody who orchestrated a story. That don't really sound like I'm gonna get to the bottom of anything.
You said the story. What do you mean by that?
I mean, like the story. I mean, like, okay, so the Department of Justice did what they did with the Georgia Department of Corrections. They deemed it to be unfit. Correct? I don't know if you're familiar with this story or not. So,
I haven't. No.
Okay, so 9 months ago, they did this big press release where they deemed the they deemed the Georgia Department of Corrections to be both unconstitutional and inhumane, and they gave out a red letter to-do list. And so I was just inquiring and doing my research, and I was trying to see what the Georgia Department of Corrections has done, and if they haven't done anything, has the Department of Justice, what do they do? Do they have the power to influence them to do anything, or was this just a press release for the sake of having a press release? I don't know if any of that makes sense.
And do you see any like names that stand out on that?
One second. I'm gonna tell you right now. One of them is. One of those names is. Christian Clark. And it's supposed to be a 93-page report. Let's see what else we have here.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay. I just muted the phone. I don't know if the last time he put me on hold, there was music. But this time it's not music. I don't know if that makes a difference or not. Trying to see who else you got on here. You got, who is that? What's her name?
Human dignity. Kids who shared still found the claim of victimization before he was accurately tracked or reported. Custody was almost 3 times the national average. And since then, the sheer numbers of homicides in GDC have increased almost threefold. In 2023, 35 people were killed in GDC facilities compared to at least 18 in just the first 5 months of 2024. These are likely underestimates as GDC does not accurately track or report homicides within its facilities. Violence extends to the restrictive housing units, more commonly known as segregation or segregated housing. Even though GDC segregates people who are in danger, many of those housing units are themselves unsafe. For example, in April of 2023, a man incarcerated at Smith State Prison was found dead in a cell in the segregated housing unit, substantiated. The failure to adequately investigate incidents of violence, along with the failure to take appropriate corrective actions of decency and respect for basic human constitutionality, Tennessee, California, as well as information, and whose advocacy efforts importantly, we look forward to the work ahead, to working with officials to swiftly remedy these constitutional violations. I'll now turn the floor over to U.S. Attorney Buchanan.
Buchanan.
In our prisons and those in the communities mentioned earlier is prioritized. In our findings, we identified.
Good afternoon. My name is Peter Leary, and I'm the United States.
Peter Leary. No problem.
Who's over press releases? They did tell me that he's not in today, but I still can transfer you over directly to his line. And like I said, he's not in today, but you still can leave a message and
what's his name?
He'll get back to you that way. Last name is Kitchens. That's all I can say.
Kitchen. So is it a he or a she?
It's a he.
Cause you just said her last name is Kitchens.
So he.
Okay, his last name is Kitchens.
Right.
All right.
Transfer your call now.
All right.
Nathan Kitchens is not available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone. Press the pound key to end recording.
Good afternoon. My name is Danon Butler. You can return my call at 678-891-9690. 678-891-9690. Thank you so much. Okay. I really want to talk to somebody at this damn this thing that your boy got going on, but they don't even have the phone number they have. It don't get to nothing. This one at least led me to a beating heart. So I think that on this page, I'm gonna have to dive a little deeper than I've been diving. that's gonna have to be my niche. I'm gonna have to dive into stories, reach out to some people, and try to get some real stories and some real responses, because that's the only thing that makes sense. Everything else is some bullshit. So listen, get in the comment section, man. Like, share, subscribe. I'm out.